Islam is not against celebrating others' holidays as long as it has legitimate meaning, legitimate consequences, legitimate reason or cause. Our problem when we start celebrating things just to tell others, yeah, I'm here, though we believe it might create a problem. One of them is like, for instance, Halloween. What's Halloween? When I go back to statistics, they say about 70% or more, the increase of crime-related claims, damaging cars, hurting others, burning. So that night becomes like a fright night rather than a happy night. And then I look at the root of that occasion. Some people, they say it has to do with the holy saints. Some of them, they say, no, it goes back to pagan. Regardless now what's the root of it, what we are seeing, of consequences in the society, that will put a question mark, in celebrating this. What does it mean for my kids to knock on others' door and tell them trick or treating? That means if you do not give me something, I'm going to trick you, which implies a threat. It implies a threat. It's either a trick that implies a threat or hand out some candy, So here we have an issue. So what I'm teaching my kids, okay, it has some positive things. There is nothing in this society 100% good or 100% bad. There is always something good here and there. But Islam, when Islam takes into consideration Allah, does not just look at specific good points here and there. It looks at the whole image. So when it talks, for instance, about alcohol, Islam did not say alcohol is 100% bad, forget about it. No. وَيَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنَ الْخَمْرِ وَالْمَيْسِرِ قُلْ فِيهِمَا إِثْمٌ كَبِيرٌ وَمَنَافِعُ لِلنَّاسِ. Even alcohol has some good things. But guess what? The consequences of using the alcohol, the bad, things associated with alcohol, the disadvantages outweigh the good ones. So stop it. This is Quran. So when I celebrate occasions in the West, sometimes because it is very global, very national, it goes beyond a specific race or ethnicity. It becomes very symbolic to something worth it that I respect and admire. Then there is no problem with that. And one of them, they say, regardless now of the authenticity of the narration, but it is famous in our history, they say Imam Ali, alayhi salam, one time they gave him a gift and they said, this is because of Nayrouz. Nayrouz is it's a Eid, a holiday, but it's not Islamic. So Imam Ali did not object and say, yeah, we don't want Nayrouz, we have our occasions or events. No, he said, okay, let's make every day Nayrouz. So Nayruzuna, it's like, we don't have a problem bridging the gaps among cultures, but we have a problem about keeping, or let's put it in other words, about killing the beauty of diversity. So it's like, hey, what's your ID as a Muslim? What's your ID as a Christian? What are your values? How do you associate celebration to your values? Are they good? Are they going to add a value to your belief, a value to your family, a value to your society, a value to your community? Or no, has no value except, I'm trying to go with the flow, and I might lose my ID, I might lose my diversity, I might lose my mosaic in the society. So between a melting pot that smashes and melt the minority and keeping a society with my multicultural in a mosaic way, like a puzzle, that's the question. Islam look at it, no. Let's keep every culture in the society, respect their, events, occasions, as long as does not contradict with the platform of Islam. And this is very important. Another thing when it comes to Halloween, brothers and sisters, what does it mean for our kids to get in the mood of frightening others, make them, afraid? What's the idea? What are we gaining out of it? Yes, the nice part, the kids, they can meet, they can exchange, candy. But we can do that in other places. The conclusion that I would like to conclude with, as we celebrate other occasions and holidays, do we celebrate and emphasize on our occasions and holidays? When I go around and I see people decorating their houses, their front yard, with all this Halloween, scary characters, how much you are investing in our occasions. Like nowadays, we have the birthday of the Prophet sallallahu alaihi wasallam. How are we contributing to that? Are we taking our kids to meet other kids and have fun? Are we, taking advantage of this big community to build more bridges, to talk to others, to reach our people, to reach our, brothers and sisters in the same faith, not to mention other, places. Third, and this is important, if I tell my kids this is we do not do, not because we are isolated, I'm just teaching my kids to analyze and rationalize things, do not be like a leaf that the wind is taking as it wishes. No, you have to have your personality. You have to have your identity. You have to trust your self. You don't have to just feel bad because you're different. And that's what's good about the country. Diversity, respecting others, respecting minority. So why should we feel bad about it? Definitely we have more things to talk about. We stop it here. And inshallah later on we talk about more topics. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.